New surveys say that over 80% of people trust an online testimonial or review of your business as much as they do a personal referral. We need more testimonials. We need more recommendations. Today I want to share with you 7 ways to get more online recommendations and reviews. How long has it been since you Googled yourself? You know, if someone's going to work with you, odds are they're going to first either find you via Google or they're going to actually be out there searching for you and kind of verifying that you're real or that you've done some business. They're going to look you up on Google. What we want to do today is we want to basically give the opportunity that we don't have to brag on ourselves. We're going to use testimonials, reviews, recommendations to do the bragging for you, where some of your past clients, some of the people that know you, like you and trust you, are actually out there doing that work for you. Now, before I get into the type of testimonials and how to generate these testimonials, let me give you a couple different options, because there are a couple different things that we want to make sure we understand when we're going into this. Number one is Google My Business. If you have not had a chance yet to go out and to set up your Google My Business page, I would highly recommend it. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this and you don't know how to do that, there's going to be a link above for where I talk with Heidi Harris about how exactly you can set your Google My Business up. Here's the advantage of that. When people go into Google, the first thing they're going to look for, and they search for your name, it'll pop up your Google My Business. It has the ability to have reviews and recommendations from people on that Google My Business. That's going to be the first place they're going to find you. So make sure we're going to do those. Here's the thing about Google My Business and also about Facebook reviews is these are not verified sales. So these could be people that you've worked with or friends or family that can basically say, hey, this is a great person. If I were selling real estate, this is a person I would work with, whatever. It doesn't just have to be people that have actually worked with you. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Also, if you're looking at Realtor.com, Zillow, any of those are going to be verified sales recommendations. So if somebody submits this, it's going to line their name up with the property address and the sale that happened to make sure, and that you participate in that sale to make sure that it's a verified actual recommendation. So we're going to talk about this in a way. Think of it that way. There's a couple different options here. We want to fill both of them up. If I were only going to start with one, it would be Google My Business, because that's where people are going to start, is Googling you, and then ultimately that's where it's going to start. So let's talk about some of these opportunities for you to generate additional or start generating some of these reviews and recommendations. Number one, let's start with what we already have, which is any reviews or recommendations you already have, and let's compound those recommendations. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that someone left you a review on Realtor.com and it's housed on Realtor.com and it's just there. A couple things we can do there to compound that. That person has already said that they like and they trust you enough to go out there and make a recommendation for you. So a couple things we can do with this. If you're looking at Google My Business, you could actually take a photo of that and post it as one of the pictures, and it'll show up there. That's one way. Another way is just to simply reach out to those folks with the exact review they did and a link to whichever of the sites you want that next review to be on. So if they did it on Realtor.com and you want it on Zillow, send them a link to your Zillow page where they can leave a recommendation. And just simply say something like this in the email. I truly do appreciate the trust you've given me and actually going out there and giving me a recommendation on Realtor.com. I've copied that in here. Simply, if you would, it'd be great for me if you could just simply click the link on that I've listed below, no matter where it's going, whether it's Zillow to Facebook or it's going to Google My Business, wherever it is, just copy that and just go in there and drop that review in there. It really helped me out a lot. And again, thank you so much for trusting me in the past and giving me the opportunity to work with you. If you'll do those things, you'll take one review you've gotten and you can get it on multiple platforms. It's a great way to really multiply the ones you've already got in the bag. Second is super practical. What we focus on expands. So what are you focusing on? Take your email signature that's in every email you send out and have a link there for where they can leave a review. Whatever site it is that you're trying to grow on. So if it's your Google My Business page, for instance, or whatever it is, have in there. The highest honor I could get is if you could leave me a recommendation online. Here's a link, and thanks in advance for leaving a review for me at the link below. And just have it where it's linked up. That gives it, once you have it in your email signature line, it's going to be on everything that goes out. That compounding effect of those people seeing that over and over again, at some point you're going to do something the right way. You're going to get them at a time when they're very thankful for all you're doing for you, and they're just going to click on that link, and there's going to be reviews show up that you didn't even have any idea were coming. Number three, kind of low-hanging fruit also, is to reach out to all of your past buyers and sellers. These are folks that have done business with you. I bet if I just say that right out of the gate, you think of 5 or 6 people you've done business with that haven't left you a review or recommendation, that if you just asked them, they probably would do this. So let's start there. So what do you need to put in that email? First thing is make it as easy as possible. Have a link to wherever it is that you want them to actually go in and leave the review or recommendation. So whichever your platform you're focusing on, have that one place. I would suggest just one place, because if you try to put multiple places in that email, you're going to overwhelm them. They're probably not going to click more than that just one link. Put just one link in there, exactly where you want them to go. The second thing is to let them understand the value of that review and recommendation and what it does for you. So typically what I would do in those, I'm just going to paraphrase this. Basically, I would just say, hey, basically my business is built on my reputation. Now more than ever, reviews and recommendations online are extremely valuable because everyone starts their search in real estate online. It would be something that would really be helpful to me if you could just take a few minutes, click the link below, and go and leave me a review or a recommendation. Thanks in advance for all your help. If you'll do that, I promise you, you're going to get some reviews very quickly. This is a great way to start and get some momentum in getting those fresh, new reviews and recommendations out there. Number 4 is for you to leave reviews. Go out there. Now listen, we talked about this. These are going to be reviews on Google My Business, on Facebook, on places where it's not a verified transaction. Go out there and do reviews. Is there an agent that you've referred someone to in another city that maybe you could go leave a recommendation for them? Now listen, I wouldn't want to do this. It'd be kind of greasy to do this, to go out there and say, hey, listen, I'll leave you a review if you leave me one. Go leave them a review and then just kind of send them a text and say, hey, just know that your business is built on online reviews. I went and left you a review and a recommendation based on the process of us working together. Would love it if you get a few minutes to leave me a review also. Here's a link to my Google My Business page, Facebook, whatever it is that you're trying to get those on. Listen, if you'll lead by doing those things, not just for those referring agents. Who is it that you work with? A title company. Maybe it's a lender, someone that you've done business with, that you know, and that you've done business with in a way that you trust them enough to leave them a 5-star review. Promise if you'll go do that and then just let them know that you did it, odds are the law of reciprocity is that they're going to come back and they're going to leave you a review as well. Number 5 is run a review campaign. Now this is a place where you could actually go out and you could really get focused on this thing. You could use social media for this. You could use personalized emails, whatever it is. But basically, here's what I like to do. I like to go out and say, listen, I'm looking forward to really supporting a local charity. Identify a charity that you know that is someone you'd like to support anyway. And just basically state that, hey, listen, I'm at a place where my business is growing. Online reviews and recommendations are critical for people to know who I am and to get a trust level with me before they actually call when they're deciding on who they're going to work with. In lieu of that, I'm running a 30-day contest right now, and every single person that takes the time to go and leave me an online review I'm going to make a donation in their name for whatever amount it is to this charity. You give them the ability to do 2 things, to support a local charity. You give them the ability also to go out and support you. You may be amazed at how many people would love to support your business if you'll simply ask. By taking it and giving it where it's not just about you, it's about something else, promise that's going to help get you some momentum going on building those reviews in the places you want to build them. Number 6 is turn complimentary emails into reviews. If you've ever received an email from someone thanking you for how you did help them in their transaction, or what you did to help them find their house or sell their house, or whatever it is, a simple respond back saying thank you so much for the kind words. It would be great if you could take that very thing you just said and actually leave that as an online review or recommendation. I'm doing everything in my power to let people know how much I care about taking care of my clients, and by you doing that, it would be a big help to me. Here's a link. If you don't mind, just take a couple minutes and I'd really appreciate it. If you'll do that, all of a sudden now, the very specific things where people are highlighting you, now you've just turned from what would be an email that makes you feel good to something that's going to be out there for years and years, continue to give people the opportunity to understand who you are and how you do business. Number 7 is simply this, just ask. Listen, most people would love to support your business. They just haven't been asked yet. Who is it that's a friend? Who is it that's a coworker? Who is it somebody that you've worked with, that you had a great experience with, that you have not asked them to give you a review or recommendation? Listen, people will do what you typically ask for. I'll give you an example right now. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, now's a great opportunity. Go subscribe. Hit that little bell button where it'll let you know each time we put a new video in. See how that easy that is. When you ask someone to do something, most people are going to actually go and do do that, if you'll apply this to your reviews and your recommendations, you'll simply ask, I promise you what you're going to do is you're going to wake up in just a few months and you're going to have more reviews than you could ever imagine. Think of it this way. If I'm going to a new city and I see a restaurant and I pull up restaurants to eat at tonight, and I look and there's one that has 50 reviews that are 5-star reviews and one that has 4 reviews and one's a 4-star and a couple are 5-star and one's a 3-star, guess where I'm going to eat? I'm going to eat at the one that has the most and the best reviews and recommendations. It's the same way in our real estate business. Make sure you're compiling these in a way that gives you the credibility that you need online to grow your business. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.